Did you know that in our modern, perfect world, we are the most medicated, stressed, and lonely generation to ever exist? If you've ever felt like you're struggling just to keep your head above water while everyone else seems to be doing fine, I have a bit of a shock for you. The water itself is toxic. What we call normal life is actually making us sick. By the end of this video, you're going to understand why your burnout, your anxiety, or even that nagging physical pain isn't a personal failure or a glitch in your biology. You'll learn how to stop blaming yourself for not fitting into an unhealthy culture and instead discover how to start healing by reclaiming the parts of yourself you've had to hide just to survive. This is the powerful core of The Myth of Normal by Dr. Gabor Maté. As a physician with decades of experience, Maté argues that our society's standard for normal is fundamentally at odds with what our bodies and minds actually need to thrive. The toxic culture. Think about your typical Tuesday. You're likely rushing to work, staring at a screen for 8 hours, worrying about your bank account, and then scrolling through social media until your eyes hurt. We consider this normal, but our bodies see it as a constant state of emergency. Dr. Maté explains that we have created a culture where stress is the default, and we've become so used to it that we don't even realize we're drowning. Look at how we value productivity over rest. If you've ever felt guilty for taking a nap or felt like you're falling behind because you took a weekend off, you're caught in this trap. The first step to changing this is to stop asking what's wrong with me and start asking, what is this environment doing to me? Try to spend just 10 minutes today in total silence, no phone, no music, to let your nervous system realize it's actually safe. If you felt like you're constantly running a race you never signed up for, you aren't alone. Trauma is a wound, not a story. We often think of trauma as some massive, world-shattering event, a war or a disaster, but Maté defines trauma differently. He says trauma isn't what happens to you, it's what happens inside you as a result of what happened. It's a wound that hasn't healed, leaving you with a protective scar that keeps you from feeling your true self. Imagine you were criticized harshly as a child whenever you showed emotion. Today, as an adult, you might find it impossible to cry or tell your partner how you really feel. That numbness is the scar. It protected you then, but it's hurting you now. To start healing, don't look for a cure, look for the connection. When you feel a strong, irrational emotional reaction, like getting furious over a small comment, don't suppress it. Ask that feeling, where did I first learn to react this way? Acknowledging the wound is the only way it starts to close. If you feel like there's a wall between you and the rest of the world, remember, that wall was built for your protection, but you're the one who holds the key to the gate. Attachment versus authenticity. This is perhaps the heartbreaking choice we all make. As children, we have two core needs: attachment, the need to be loved and taken care of, and authenticity, the need to be our true selves. The problem is, if being our true self, being loud, angry, or messy, threatens our attachment to our parents, we will always sacrifice our authenticity to stay safe. Think about the people pleaser. Maybe you find yourself saying yes to every request at work even when you're exhausted because you're terrified of disappointing people. You are sacrificing your authenticity for attachment. You're essentially telling your own soul to shut up so others will like you. To fix this, start small. Practice saying no to one small thing that doesn't align with your values this week. It will feel terrifying at first, like you're losing a connection, but you're actually gaining a connection to yourself. If you've spent your life being the nice one while feeling empty inside, you're just a person who chose survival over self, and it's time to choose self again. When the body says no. Dr. Maté points out a fascinating yet scary pattern. When we don't know how to say no with our mouths, our bodies eventually say no for us. Chronic stress and suppressed emotions manifest as physical illness, migraines, autoimmune issues, or chronic fatigue. Our immune systems are not separate from our emotions. They are one single system. Think of a person who takes on everyone's problems, never complains, and is always there for everyone else, only to suddenly fall ill. That's the body finally going on strike. It's not a betrayal, it's a desperate plea for you to set a boundary. A practical way to apply this is to start listening to your gut feelings. If a certain person or task makes your stomach knot up or your shoulders tighten, that is your body giving you a message. Don't ignore the messenger. If you've been struggling with your health and feel like your body is failing you, consider that it might actually be trying to save you from a lifestyle that is too much to bear. Healing isn't about becoming someone else. It's about returning to who you were before the world told you who you should be. We've looked at how our normal culture is toxic, how trauma is an internal wound, the struggle between authenticity and attachment, and how our bodies speak the truths we try to hide. If you take one thing away from this, let it be this: you are not a disorder or a diagnosis. You are a human being responding to a complex world. I want to know, is there a part of your authentic self that you feel you've had to hide lately? Drop a comment below. Let's start a real conversation. And if you're looking to peel back more layers of why we think and act the way we do, maybe join us for the next one. Be kind to yourself today. You're doing better than you think.